Yeah, I know I'm going to hit Mezzogiorno. I just need to remember there's like a T in there. Because even though the word is mezzo, it's actually pronounced mezzo. I think that's where I falter, because I say it and then I'm like, hang on, this doesn't sound right. But there's no clues in the spelling of how it's actually pronounced. Have to go and run an errand for a minute, but am I playing the revised focus time submod? Yes, I am, CPM. So far, so good. The only thing which I would say, and this is a personal preference, but I think that maybe the Black Monday stuff is recovered too quickly. So to make it a real choice, I would make the Black Monday recovery stuff take like 70 days rather than 35, and then the non-Black Monday stuff 35. So you can be tempted to take the non-Black Monday stuff because it will give you an earlier, shorter boost, but if you want the long-term recovery, then you're actually going to spend the time. But that's just my opinion. Man. I miss Canada and their unlimited political power that could rival Palpatine's. Unlimited power! Energetic describes it well. I had a literature professor from Venice who always spoke energetically, especially when he read passages of Dante in Italian. Yeah, well, I'm not the most energetic speaker. I'm a fairly good public speaker, but I'm not going to be doing like the hand gestures and everything. Gestures, even. Game designer in me is showing. Yeah, it is. But CPM's the guy that made that mod, so I felt like I should point it out. And we have another research we can be doing. It's still July 36. Could get radio. I like the idea of getting Fleet and Being. Let's get Fleet and Being. At least then we can get down the capital ship route and be ready to fight. I also think Germany recovers from Black Monday way too fast. Yeah, so I think it's just the Black Monday text that needs to take longer. As it stands, I tend to go with shorter focus times even for the Black Monday stuff, just so it doesn't get tedious, but I may do some alterations. Yeah, I get that, and it definitely makes things less tedious, but I think for Black Monday it's supposed to be tedious, so that there is a big difference between the nations that are not affected by it, notably Canada, and those which are affected by it badly, Germany, because it's during the time that Germany is recovering from Black Monday that they are the most vulnerable against people like France, who are not affected by it. And I think that if you make the Black Monday too short, then it doesn't have that same impact and same like gut-wrenching, oh my gosh, my industry sucks, as it probably should. I mean, the way to get around it, and this is kind of bonkers, is to make these like 20 days and then make these 70 or even 80 days. So that the Black Monday stuff really takes investment to finish, but once you've got it, then it's a big change. Because right now I'm just blitzing through these like they've hardly affected me. Begin industrialization efforts. Done. Let's get to industrial modernization, which is another industry research rate. More than additional factories, we need our existing ones to work better, faster, and always be modern. We cannot allow the Great Red Shadow to outproduce our military. And we can get another minister, but I think I'm going to hold off on that. Because I would like to change my manpower laws to limited as soon as possible so we can actually get over the manpower problems, because that is what's causing us problems here. Weird thing is about the base mod, people did 35-day focuses for the Republic of Italy recover. I'm tempted to wait until the Kaiserreich devs figure out how they want the recovery to go. Alright, fair enough. I mean, some countries are, I think, supposed to recover it from it faster, so maybe Two Sicilies is one of those. I'm just afraid that countries like Germany, which are supposed to suffer hard from Black Monday, might be a bit too easy. But I have not played as Germany, so I can't say for sure. Germany Asia has declared war on the Indo-Chinese Union. Good. I do like that things are generally going to happen earlier, though. Because this game, too often, you'd get into, like, 1941 and nothing had happened. And at that point, like, half of the tech tree is finished. After the Weltkrieg, Germany seized French Indochina, but stability wasn't restored until Germany crushed the South China revolutionaries in 1926. Now, Indochinese nationalists and leftists under a coalition government called the Viet Minh have risen up against the colonial regime. Nguyen An Ninh, the head of the Viet Minh, declared the independence of Indochina. Surely not modelled colonial subjects. I think I upped the focus times for Germany to recover. I can check that. Aftermath Black Monday, 35, 56. 56, yeah, see that does sound better. Fair enough. And there we go. Let's get limited conscription so we can actually get some manpower. Especially when it comes to building ships. That ship's not due until July 37, but I suspect... No, you're only missing one chromium. Right, it's because there's only one dockyard working on that. A call for traditional values. The conservative Archbishop of Naples, Alessio Ascalesi, has given a stern and powerful sermon calling for a return to the traditional values and to turn away from the social democratic policies that are ruining the kingdom in the fault for Black Monday. Many that support the social conservative Democrazia Cristiana have taken out this as a sign and are energized by its rhetoric. Okay. Fair enough. My favourite language quirk belongs to German, which instead of a perfectly serviceable sentence, the Germans just use one giant long word. I love that. Yeah, like... U-Bahn-Hauptstelle. Tram stop. One of my favourite translations. Or Infantry mit Panzerunterstützung. Infantry with tanks. Did I hear that the Social Conservatives were... No, it wasn't the Social Conservatives. It was the Social... What are these guys? Social Democrats that were at fault. The Social Conservatives are the ones who are blaming them. Popularity of Social Conservatives increased because of the Social Democrats being held accountable. Jabal Shammar declared war on Nejd. Industrial modernization. Dig greedily and deeply. We will delve and search deep, survey new mines, and ensure that we have the minerals needed to protect ourselves. Diggy diggy hole, diggy diggy hole. Oh, I'm a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole. Have to strike the balance between too fast and too slow. Too slow is less fun for the German players. Too quick is not fun for France players. Yeah, precisely. It's difficult. I mean, the way that you would make it more interesting for Germany, this isn't really in your purview, CPM, this is more for Kaiserreich devs, is to just add more focuses. Like, there is something intrinsically fun about clicking buttons and seeing progress. The problem is... when it's this bar that's taking so long. It's a lot more interesting to be clicking this button twice in 235 days than once in a 70-day. Especially if there are more obvious incremental changes and more choices to be made in between. So you can say, okay, I'll get half of my benefit now and then I do like more factories and then I'll take the other half. Or I can do half and then half again and then I don't have those factories. Rather than I'm going to get the whole number now but I'm waiting for 70 days and doing nothing in between. That's where the boredom lies. And now the game designer in me really is coming out. And add loot boxes. No, don't. Agreed, if it's split up into a dozen little programs like it was during the New Deal, it would make it more interesting, especially if they had small bonuses attached as well. Yeah, precisely. No, they'll add surprise mechanics. Yay. I feel like we have enough fuel to go and train a bit again. Off you go. Use infantry equipment to gamble. Oh dear. Just no. Fuel is going to run out. We're digging deep and greedy. And there it is. We have dug greedily and deeply. And now we can end the crisis. Oh, we have a bunch more industry things. I thought that these were going to be tucked behind that, but they're not. They're actually separate. Huh. Which means that this one's actually even easier to get than I realized. I thought it required all of these. It doesn't. It requires just those. Interesting. Well, let's end the crisis. And then maybe get the thriving economy. Which is a consumer goods usage reduction. Although I think that getting this one sooner is going to be better. Because that construction speed plus 15% early on is going to be even better than a production efficiency bonus. At last! We have finally ended the struggling period of Black Monday and we're ready to move on. But first, we need to ensure that its last ripples are no longer felt. And then we can really start to industrialize rather rapidly. Anything else in the world happening at the moment? Coming to France? No. No. Australasian comrades. Oh dear, they're causing problems for Canada. ISAC. MacArthur's plan. Really hoping that I can get... Oh dear. Wrangle, what are you doing? Don't make more enemies for yourself. Dude. Funny there's no Mafia event in the two Sicilies. I mean, they've mentioned the Mafia a couple of times. Is Canada supporting Russia? Did I see that right? I wouldn't be surprised if they are. And yes. I mean, Russia often supports other nations, so I'm not that surprised that these two are fairly cordial. And of course, Russia is reforming the Navy, because that's their priority right now. Come on, Wrangle, you're better than this. Don't show me up, please. I think all loot boxes should come with a gambling warning. I know somebody who spent $200 on Black Ops 4 boxes even though they couldn't afford it. Yikes. Loot boxes are fine as long as they are pay to win. I think loot boxes in general just shouldn't be paid for. I mean, it's fine to find a chest and open it. I mean, there's a cool feeling in doing that, but having to pay for that and then the repeat feeling of the, like... Words failing me again. Huey Long elected president of the USA. Let's just go with that. Despite the massive instability rampant in the nation ever since the Great Depression in 1925, president's elections went forwards and the voting results are clear. America First has won. Elections in Italy. The elections in the Republic of Italy ended with Prime Minister Ivano Bonomi remaining as the Prime Minister. And we are almost out of fuel again, so you can head home. Although, the majority of you are actually now fully trained, which is good. Then we can train up the dreadnoughts and such. So what was I trying to say? Oh yeah. Positive feedback loops from opening chests are a good thing. They make you want to play more of the game. Putting a payment wall in front of that feedback loop is where the problem lies. And that's why gambling is addictive. Because you want to have that positive feedback and that positive reinforcement, but it costs you money to do it. I want the civilian factories. We must build faster! More forts, more trenches, more ports, more factories, more bases, more dockyards, more roads, all the needed building blocks of an independent power which we lack. So especially bad when it's targeted to younger kids on a mobile device. Yes, because they don't know what's happening. Too easy to abuse and they do it knowingly. Yeah, therein lies the problem. Still haven't decided what I want to do here in Italy. Isn't Italian restoration a thing I can do? Because I know it is as the Republic of Italy. Yes, it is. Fate of Italy will be decided once we defeat the Socialist Republic to the north. Old Order is where you have all of the different fragmented bits. Or the Italian Empire. Okay. So defeating the Socialists in the north is my goal, ultimately. EA declared recently that it's entirely ethical, however it's EA. The measure of ethics is a tad bit skewed. Just a little bit. I believe we can go on the offensive air strike now, past the take the fight to them focus. I mean, I'm not in a position to do it right now, and I would still like to be like the industrial juggernaut of the Entente or something like that. And then have other people die for my wars. Puppet Master. But then again, I'd also like to fight in a battle, otherwise it's a little bit boring viewing. I did feel a bit bad during the 3-day war. I had absolutely no intention to do any fighting myself, playing as the USA and just throw guns at the Soviet Union. And then realised at the end of that session that they had like several tens of thousands of guns just sitting in their stockpile because they hadn't been building soldiers. I was a little bit irritated with them after that. It's like, you have this many guns, I have this much manpower, I could have been building extra soldiers. In fact, so could you. Ah, there were 2 of you playing. The the Easterns are ethical. No, the Easterns are extremely greedy. So EA like to dig deep and greedily. I'm going to wait until 37. Subsidies have been finished. So let's do the heavy industry incentives. By investing into heavy industry, we can ensure that our nation's heavy industry can withstand the pressures of wartime. 1st of January. I would like to get... See, this is getting the 100% bonus. Why did we not get that earlier? That was really weird. Alright. Everyone pays. EA, each and everyone pays. They just forget the P part. And we could modify the government again. We don't really do resources of our own, do we? I mean, we have some steel, but that's it. So we could actually go free trade, and it would not cost me very much. And then we get all of the production and output bonuses. Let's do it. Free trade. Boom. Now we're really going to industrialize rapidly. And we have manpower. You guys are training. Magnificent! And what was this about? As our nation lacked the capacity in the past to invest further into the Navy, or because we lack the infrastructure to compete with naval powers, much of our technology on the subject is dated and our designs ridiculed around the world. An increased effort to catch up, however, in the field is now at our grasp, and plans to the expansion of both our infrastructure and naval research is well underway. That would cost me 40 political power and 50 telephones, which we can do. However, we require more than 24 naval yards. We have 1. So that's a ways off. But then we will get Weltkrieg, Interwar, improved dreadnoughts, and Weltkrieg super heavy gunnery. So we basically need to not research dreadnoughts and just rely on that. Heavy industry incentives, done. So now we can begin on the incentives, incentivize arms industry, military industrial complex, and then we can hit the industrial development effort, which is going to be a big deal. The arms industry is an important economic sector. By working closely with contractors and offering new contracts, we can encourage the expansion of many armaments facilities. And are we at 100% anywhere yet? Abruzzo is still building. Once Abruzzo has hit 100, we can start putting some more civilian factories there. Congrats on the partner. Thank you very much, Nexgrato. Appreciate that. Anyway, I need to run that errand. If you come across anything majorly game-breaking or just have other recommendations for better balance, good to have a professional game dev playing the submod, please let me know. No worries, CPM, I will do. Do. I'm definitely happy that things are going a little quicker, because there's not a lot to do in Two Sicilies otherwise. The Hosian Kingdom has declared war on the Empire of Japan. Like, I think that's one of the geniuses of Kaiserreich, is because there are so many individual wars going on, you can always meddle. But if your country is too small to have enough men to actually send volunteers, you can't do that. The rise of Japan in recent decades majorly upset the status quo in East Asia, and the annexation of Korea in 1910 to the land of the rising sun was seen as indicative of a new order on the mainland. However, Japanese power is not limitless, and the colonization efforts in Korea, Manchuria, and Formosa have led to great resentment against their occupiers. Legate Prometheus, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Wait, Mordred's a professional? Yeah. And that's how I got started on Twitch. I was a game developer. But the game that I'm working on, mostly, is royalty-based, and it's taking a while to develop. And I needed a way of raising money, and I thought, you know what, I play a lot of games. What if I can monetize the playing of games? Oh, there's this thing called YouTube I could use to do that with. Alright, let's give it a go. Oh hey, this actually works. Aren't Blizzard the one that made Overwatch? Yes, they do. Why does everyone seem to like the game so much? Because it's the most similar game that you'll find to Unreal Tournament, which was a great shooter. It's not just a cover-based Modern Warfare, World War II shooter. It's more energetic, there's more going on. And some of us like that more. Because I would say I much prefer Overwatch to, say, Call of Duty. I really liked Unreal Tournament. I've yet to find a shooter that, like, hits that same niche that Unreal did. Overwatch is the closest. The only thing I dislike about Overwatch is it's only... Well, actually it doesn't really matter. Overwatch is very clever in how it does the matchmaking. Like, even when you're waiting for a next game, you're in an arena with everyone else in the waiting list, so you're still, like, playing. Can't beat Quake. I did not like Quake. I don't know what it was about that game, I just did not like it. But Unreal Tournament was amazing. Unfortunately, the new Unreal Tournament, which Epic was working on, has been cancelled because of freaking Fortnite. No, League of Legends. It's not Epic. Wait. Who does League of Legends? It's not Epic, is it? It was Riot. Riot does League of Legends. Riot did Unreal Tournament. And because League of Legends was way more popular than they thought it would be, they cancelled Unreal so that they could focus on League of Legends. Because if you're playing League of Legends, like the narrator, commentator stuff that you hear, it is Epic that did Fortnite and Unreal. Okay, I'm getting myself confused now. So yeah, because Fortnite was much more popular than they expected, they cancelled Unreal, which pissed me off. I wanted another Unreal. And yes, of course. Oh man, my voice is really starting to hurt. I'm probably going to stop after this. So, yeah, I knew it was Epic because Epic has the Epic Store, and Epic Store has discounts for companies that use the Unreal Engine. Therefore, they must be the developers of the Unreal Engine, which is obviously Unreal. Since the end of the Austrian occupation during the 1920s, Serbia has officially been a kingdom. They never dared crown a king as they were forced to keep a low profile in the light of further Austrian aggression. Petar Bovic, the regent of Serbia for almost 2 decades and a known royalist, has decided to restore the monarchy. And with that, I'm going to stop because I don't want to strain my voice too much. So thank you everyone for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, be sure to hit that follow button to get notifications when I'm live again in the future. If you've really enjoyed this, then do consider subscribing. It helps the channel out and lets me do more of this kind of content. If you want to support the channel other ways, check out the Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/MordredViking. Plus, I am partnered now. Yay! Which I'm definitely celebrating. Just seeing who else is on so we can throw them a raid. I do have a YouTube channel where you can find more of this kind of content. You can find that at youtube.com/MordredViking. Sir Squire, let's go and raid you. Yeah, let's go and head over there. So head on over to Sir Squire. I want to see a bunch of the Mordred Viking horns thrown up into his chat. Let's make sure that he knows that we're around. Let's make some noise. So yeah, do that. I will be back again tomorrow. I will be streaming. Schedule is to be Hearts of Iron, but considering I've been doing Hearts of Iron today, I don't know for sure if I'll do that. I will decide tomorrow. Stay tuned to Discord. That's where I'll probably say it. And you can find that at the Discord right here. Anyway, head on over to Sir Squire. I would like to see a bunch of Viking raids just like this. And if you've got access to them, throw in a couple of the horns as well. Always nice to see. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I will catch you guys next time. Goodbye.